Why do you run away from pain, bro? What is so scary about pain? If you've seen my channel, if you've seen some of the topics that I cover, there's some painful stories about life that I share on this channel, right? Life is not a stack of roses, as Rocky or Sylvester Stallone said in the Rocky movie. It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there if you let it. And whoever wrote that line is a genius, because that is very well acted out in the movie. But the reality is, life is really a battlefield. And there's many of us that are actually hiding the real pain. There's a lot of us that are struggling but putting up fronts and facades on social media and for the public and pretending like we're okay. But I am very convinced that we're not all okay. We're not okay. This includes the guy shooting the video, talking about it right here. I'm not totally all okay, but I choose to show up, because I could have been resigned to my couch right now watching the NBA playoffs, which I am going to do, but the push and the drive to shoot this video was inspiring and motivating to me, is because I'm constantly challenging myself. I did my 10,000 steps today. I've drank my gallon of water today. Was it painful? No. Was lifting weights painful? No. All it takes is the first 10 seconds of anything, right, that you hate doing. And then that pain or that uncomfortable feeling turns into pleasure. Is the very things that we run from are the very things that brings us pleasure. A lot of us are resigned. Like we hear, 10,000 steps, and we look at the zeros, right? Then we look at our watch and say, is it 10,000 yet? Is it 10,000 yet? That's not the goal of doing difficult things and embracing the pain, bro. Why are we running towards the Cheetos, the chocolate, the refrigerator, right? Knowing you have to trash those foods and they're not good for you. You're running for sugar. You're picking up those donuts, those cookies, looking for the cheap ass dopamine hits that do nothing for you, that don't yield you any results. Your doctor is not going to fix these problems for you, man. They're going to give you medicine, temporary fixes, right? That are designed to trick you into thinking that everything is good. But in fact, what it does is it compounds the issue. It compounds the problems. So, back to the same old question again, right? Is what is there so scary about pain? What is so scary about pain? Why do we run away from these things that bring out the best in us? I used to hide a lot behind alcohol. Very highly emotional guy. I just did a video today about why you should never trust your emotions. You should do the opposite, in fact, of everything your emotions are telling you and feeding you. You do the opposite, and that's how you win. That's how I realized that emotions can be a real beer, So I used to try to hide my pain, a lot of my pain, with alcohol. And I used to have that liquor courage. But really, I thought I was doing society a service by showing everyone how much I could drink, right? Being the comedian, making everyone laugh, being the life of the party. You've probably heard that before. Being the class clown, being the joke of the party, being the joker, picking on other people, capping and clowning other people. And by the time the drinks were done and I was way up here, I was wasted, I got the party started, and when I leave, the party sort of ends. And I look around, I'm the most wasted guy. And I realized And once I got home, none of these mofos were there to clean me up, to give me good advice, to tell me to take it easy. Not even my best friend, not even my ace. This is the golden one here. A lot of us, and we're still boys until today. There's like few aces in my life. But with time, as we have gradually, moved away from each other, and I've moved to Nevada. I live in Nevada, Las Vegas now, not California. So I've naturally had to fetch for myself and figure out the painful process of growing the hell up quickly. If not now, when? Some of us never really grow up. Some of us are scared to actually grow up. Growing up means making painful decisions, guys. And when I say, what are you scared of? What are you scared of? At the core of it, when you expand this, a lot of us are just scared to make that decision, that one decision. And somehow you perceive it as painful, but it's actually is the type of decision you need to make that will induce your personal growth, your journey. Lifting weights is not painful. Drinking a gallon of water is not painful. Walking 10,000 steps is a gift from God. This is how I connect to the higher power. I'm not a very spiritual guy, but time and time again, when people try to preach religion to me, and tell me about religion and God, I flip it back into them and say, I'm not looking for God the way you are. And maybe God has already found me through what I'm doing here, right? It serves me no purpose sitting home on all these stories and whatever's driving me to walk and push forward effortlessly and tell my story, right? Like this is, where am I going? Like this is nothing short of a miracle, guys. You ever wonder, like those people, I used to wonder looking on YouTube at people walking and talking or just sitting in front of a camera and just being able to talk flawlessly and be able to tell a story, right? I couldn't do all this when I started YouTube. When I started my journey in the beginning, I couldn't do all this. But I had to get over the imposter syndrome. That was very painful. Accepting my uncomfortable quirks and I'm being unable to talk, accepting the fact that I have battled anxiety all my life, and sometimes I get a frog in my throat and I do a lot of ahs, and there are times when my throat just won't open up. I couldn't push the words out, guys. These videos are still up on my channel. You can take a look at it. I haven't taken these videos down, but I started. It was a painful process. Nothing worth having comes easy. It looks easier once you get to the finish line, because people will always forever be enamored by the final finished product. The pain is in the process. Like the pain should be a non-negotiable. The pain is what makes you a man. Like, I'm just talking to my boys here, my brothers. To all my brothers, the pain is what makes you man. I come from a terminally ill parent home. My father had Parkinson's. I talk about that a lot on this channel. I had a very painful relationship with my mother. She put me in many compromising positions in my life and essentially sold my teenage years, my 20s. She occupied a lot of space in my life, our brothers. There was this very evil spirit about her where eventually I had to cut her off from my life. These are painful moments. These are painful decisions that you just don't wake up to. This is a step-by-step process, right? And if you are struggling with something like this, we can definitely connect. We can talk it through, and I could be able to help unlock some of this. But right now, it's not about that. I'm sharing my story with you. Is sometimes you don't have a choice but to accept the pain. That's my story. Like I had to. I'm tracking my steps here. My watch just went off. And when you're put in front of a situation that you have no choice but to deal with it, you have to deal with it. You can cry all you want. You can drink all you want. You can abuse substances all you want. But who are you hurting at the end of the day? It's going into your body. It's going into your system. And your haters, your perpetrators, your enablers, won't tell you otherwise. Your subconscious mind, I guarantee you, somewhere is talking to you guys. Because even though I was going through all of this bullshit in my life, really extreme situations, there's a subconscious voice, your spirit. There's a voice that lives in your gut. It's trying to tell your mind, trying to connect together and telling you something ain't right, bro. Should you be drinking this much, bro? It's almost like a shadow. It comes and it goes. Like, you will find that subconscious. And I gotta tell you, I got goosebumps. If I would have listened to my subconscious mind and my spirit that was watching over me, you always have a spirit watching over you in those painful moments. It'll guide you. You have to listen to that, right? You have to really listen to that, guys. A lot of us ignore it because we have too much pride. And that's what makes our pain, that's what amplifies the pain, is when we ignore that spirit. But on the flip side, guys, pain is part of growth. Pain is what puts you, pain is necessary. Stupid decisions are not necessary. But sometimes stupid decisions amplify a painful path already. As it is, life is tough. Life is short. Or life can be long, depending on how you look at it. But a lot of us really just end up making stupid, dumb decisions and don't take the plunge either with procrastination. If you teeter here and there, right, and in between, you are just going to amplify your pain. Like it's like jumping into cold water. Get it over and done with. Because the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds is where the greatest pain is. After that, everything you will realize is an illusion. After that, everything is an illusion. Because you realize that the demon that was screaming at you from the other side, that white ghost, right, the stereotypical, that fog, that, you know, that evil witch, that spirit that was talking shit to you from the other side, now you have stepped up to it and you've become one with it. Like you, where you went through and that fog has just gone behind you, and you look back at it like this, like, I've done this. This is visualization and manifestation. I've stepped into that mofo. And you look back and you realize that was the biggest effery and illusion that you were under. You were cast under your own spell. And sometimes it's evil spirits. And you realize that you have broken through the shackles and you've shattered the glasses, right? You're on the other side now. And you can now jump between the two worlds. And when you reach this point, guys, you've broken the pain barrier. Now you have the power to go in different levels. You can stack these wins, right? And once I broke through, guys, I'm telling you, there's something driving me as of this last year and a half. I've gone through a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Sometimes I'm on, most times I'm on, but there have been times when I've really hit a rock bottom. You can find the stories on this channel, but these are very normal things. Like, not every day is going to be sunshine. Not every day is going to be, you know, a beautiful walks in the park. Some days these walks get heavy. It's not so much the walks, it's the thoughts that are attached to my daily rituals, right? And a lot of this is the mindset. How you see yourself is very important before, you know, how you want the public, society to see you. Very different. And oftentimes they will reflect back on whatever energy you're feeding yourself. They will feed it back to you. It's painful, guys. Sometimes it's painful being in your own frame. It's painful accepting who you are. It can be painful. It can be painful is because we resist. We are always resisting. We're always resisting. Resisting is running away from pain rather than toward pain and becoming one with it. Because you can solve a lot of things through pain. For example, not repeating the same things that get you hurt time and time and time and again, over and over again. That's painful, no? Getting your heart broken over and over again. Attracting the same type of girls over and over again. And they treat you, you almost get the same results over and over again. You're doing the same things over and over again, right? So is the pain By choice? Is it by design? Most of my life I've gotten in my own way. That's created very painful situations for me. Decisions aren't that painful. They can be, depending on the meaning we attach, right? The emotional attachment we have with the decision. It also plays a factor. So once again, bro, why are we scared of pain? We're men. We thrive. We thrive with pain, you know? I'm about to make a video. I'm losing sunlight, as you can see. I'm about to make a video of have men given up? Have men given up in today's society? I'm Gen X. To land the plane on this video, I'm Gen X. I'm old school, man. We fought in the backyards. We were raised by, some real thugs back in our day. Like exposed to the rough life, We don't have that soft culture in us, man. If I was to be very honest and strong, YouTube would ban me for trying to coach and bring that attitude that Gen X were built from the ground up. And I think our society needs a lot of this golden advice for the young men. You guys are the future of tomorrow, future sons, future husbands, right? Fathers, mentors, teachers, coaches. I'm hoping some of this has hit home. Some of at least some pieces and parts and pieces of this dialogue is hitting home. As men, embracing pain only propels us forward and gets us ahead of the pack. Okay? To the next video, guys. Stay strong. Amba out.